Welcome to Stars Across Kentucky with entertainers from all the genres of music. The roots of country music can be found right here in the Bluegrass State. From country, gospel, bluegrass to comedy and R&B. We invite you to listen in with us today to enjoy the artists that are just beginning, some that are hot in the charts and in the region, to those that are inducted into the Kentucky Music Hall of Fame. I'm Charlie Napier, your host, and welcome to Stars Across Kentucky on WRVK 1460 AM, 97.7 FM, and around the world on WRVK1460.com.
There you go. I used to let autofocus reach around there and close that door. It makes the acoustics better. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. After a while, you'll see me over here do something, so just don't pay attention. Well, I tell you, Kentucky has called me, and I'm glad that I answered the call, and I'm still here in the great state of Kentucky. Hello, Cody Lee Meece. How you doing, buddy?
Doing well, Charlie. How are you?
It's just great to be alive and great to be here with you. Couldn't wait to get you over here to the radio station to listen to some of the talent. I know you're a very popular act out there in the state of Kentucky.
People ain't got no sense.
Well, I don't know. Maybe they know something that we don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know a whole lot.
Well, they like your music for sure. I know I've heard a lot of comments about you. I see you on a lot of billboards too. I mean, a lot of the posts. So you're pretty well sought after when it comes. I bet you summer you probably are already booking way up there.
Oh yeah, I mean some stuff's all the way out to November right now.
Yeah.
So for sure, and I'm thankful. It's something I've always wanted to do, and I've gotten to do it for years. And good Lord willing, I get to keep doing it. So.
Cody and I, we were chatting a while ago. You and I have a little bit in common here with music, of course, but we also have a little bit in common of old cars.
Oh yeah.
And you used to. Oh, well, actually, you got an old car and you built that car.
Yeah, it's a 1972 Pontiac Grand Prix. It's got a 400 Pontiac in it, and I just got done building the motor sometime back in the summer. So.
And he showed it to me a while ago, and it is sharp.
I appreciate that. It took a lot of work.
And these guys, when they build these cars, Cody, that's one thing. They want everything to be perfect.
Yeah.
And when you look at your engine, you can almost see your face in some of the cleanness of it.
Yeah, well, once it's in there, it ain't coming back out, hopefully. So you got to make sure it's right the first time.
Exactly. And an old car, I don't know, there's just something about one that I've always loved, as long as I can remember, as long as I could afford one. And I don't drive mine much, but, if it's pretty, not solved on the road, I'll take it out and give it a maybe. I think the longest drive. My brother-in-law, he owns a bunch of Mustangs, and he wanted to go Mustanging one day. So Danny and he led the pack, and there was about 7, 8 of us in Mustangs. He took me over roads I'd never been on, but it was a lot of fun. Just getting out and driving with the family. We stopped and ate and sort of had a picnic, if you will, at a place over in Richmond there, and then right on down the road we went.
Yeah, I like to get out and wind mine up when I can.
Yeah, I've got the 351 Cleveland, but now I won't press mine real hard.
Oh, I will. I'll try to slow the ride out of it.
I can tell by looking at your motor that Cody will probably burn the tires right off of it.
Yeah, it's limited, or it's not limited slip. It's an open rear end right now, so it's only one wheel peel. But one of them tires is as bald as it can be.
Well, and this guy right here has raced cars.
I haven't. Now my grandpa, and my uncle did, and I got to be around
In
it
the blood,
a little bit
isn't it?
growing. Oh yeah, for sure, no doubt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And was it round track or
Drag racing, yeah.
Yeah.
8th mile bracket.
So I can see where the car and the big motor come from.
Yeah, I love it.
It's in the blood. Well, music is in your blood too. I know that's one of the things that you've really dwelled on, really focused on for the last few years in particular. So, got some new material?
Yeah, I got a couple new ones for today. Yeah.
Okay. You want to start out new, or you want to start out with something that you want to cover?
Well, let's just go ahead and start out brand spanking, I reckon.
All right, let's do it. Give me the name of the song.
This song here is called "Forest for the Trees," and I've been facing some hurdles in my personal life here in the last few months, and thank God everything's going okay and everybody's okay, and but it can be, if you're anything like me and wired like my mind's wired, is sometimes it just plainly can be hard to see the forest for the trees as these tough moments come up in life. You get lost in the small details, and it's sometimes hard to see that anything's going to be okay. Usually if you'll sit and take a breath, you can realize that all is going to be well, on the other side of this.
Well, if I had time to tell you, I could tell you a story that you would fit your song exactly about me. We've had a hard time seeing the trees too, or the forest in front of us there.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I could appreciate that. And I think everybody listening out there, at some point in your life, if you've lived very long, you've faced some tough situations.
Oh yeah, nobody can escape it. I mean, life is beautiful. I'm glad that I have the ability to live my life, and I'm thankful for all the good things in it. But no matter how good your life is and where you come from, there's going to be hurdles along the way, and that's a part of it. And it's not necessarily what you go through. A lot of times, it's how you handle it.
Now that is absolutely true. I mean, it can get you down, or you can stand up and move forward.
Absolutely.
And that's what I always have looked at life as. If you throw me a storm, I'm going to walk through it.
Yeah. You got to be willing to make chicken salad out of chicken poop.
Okay, let's go ahead and get into that song. Brian McKinney, say howdy to Brian.
Hey, Brian.
And
Good
Patty
for him.
Miller, she's watching again here, and Frank Johnson, Jesse Goins, J.W. Isaacs. They just keep piling in here. Cody Lee Meece, take it away.
My faith a daily struggle. I find time to doubt my path. For today all I see is trouble, 'cause I just can't seem to keep from looking back. I see scars across the mountains of my mind, the lines I've stripped away. One more climb, by now who's counting? A sheep that just can't be but led astray. Spent days stranded on my knees, trying to find some kind of peace. I get lost now, mostly in the weeds. Lord, it's hard when you can't see the forest for the trees. nights alone. Never thought I'd make it, but somehow I'd see them through. That morning the sun came like a savior. By now I've done about all there is to do. I've spent days stranded on my knees, trying to find some kind of peace. I get lost now mostly in the weeds. Lord, it's hard when you can't see the forest for the trees. I've spent days stranded on my knees, trying to find some kind of peace. I get lost now mostly in the weeds. Lord, it's hard when you can't see the forest for the trees. Lord, it's hard when you can't see the forest for the trees.
Already, you got a whole pack of people tuning in here. You got Harold Taylor, Cecil King. He's a singer himself. Frank Johnson. And Brandon Phelan. I'm sure you probably know him. He sings your locally.
Okay.
That's a great song.
Well, thank you.
I was listening to it very intently, and I don't know. I think most of mine have not been weeds. Most of them have been trees and forests, and I never did find my way through it. But that's really a good song. But
Thank you,
one of the things I noticed in the song, though, the song, you appeal to God in that song.
Absolutely, and that song in a way is kind of a letter to God, you know.
It was.
I mean, I'm an extremely spiritual person. That being said, I don't ever put myself in a position to cram anything down anybody's throat. But me personally, in my daily life, I mean, I talk to God all day long, and when I lay down at night, I spend a good deal of time saying my prayers, and I pray for my family, and I pray for the world as a whole, because, I mean, there's just a lot of bad things going on out there. But, you know, I keep my relationship with God on the up and up as best I can, and every day I try to be a better version of myself than I was yesterday.
Well, I really appreciate that about you, Cody Lee, and you impressed me from first meeting you about your faith, and I feel the same way you do. And you know, just today at noon, Franklin Graham asked the whole nation to pray for this country, and that's what you was talking about just now. Is we need to pray for our nation. And,
Absolutely.
And not just once a day, but stay in a state of prayer.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was a well put there. Okay, what's your next song here?
This next song is called "Preachers, Teams, and Politicians," and it's really just about how divisive you know. Sometimes just because somebody is in a position of leadership doesn't mean you should listen to them.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of leaders in different capacities that are very misleading and really ain't giving people the full truth, or they're using it for their own personal gain, or, you know, there's just a lot goes on there, and it's also just about the common struggle of being a human and just trying to navigate it all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what do you believe? Well, you got to start by counting on each other and, you know, find your place with God.
And I can't wait to hear your lyrics to this song, but that was well stated again, is, you know, we need to listen, but then we also need to dissect every word or comment that's being made to us, because we're being fed a lot of scraps out there.
Oh, yeah, and especially with, you know, AI being about like it is. I mean, you can't believe anything you see anymore. You can't believe hardly anything you hear anymore. So you got to be willing to do your own due diligence to go digging for information or come up with your own thoughts and ideas and, you know.
And be human.
Be human. Above all, yeah, people forget that. I had to deal with a lot of that over the last couple of days.
Okay.
There we go. Well, nobody said I couldn't. If they did, I didn't listen. Don't spend your time wondering on the why. Yeah, credit, cash, or neither. Every stranger is a teacher, and freedom lies one step outside your mind. We've none chose to be born for the highways that we've worn, but through the waves we've wound up on the shores. Yes, sisters, friends, and brothers, with help from one another, together we're far stronger than before. Oh, preachers, teams, and politicians on each and every side of the aisle feed us promise after promise of wealth and the sweet by and by. Fill up all their pockets while they aim us all like guns and make us think one another is the only place to run. So let go of your hatred, give us all your heart. Hand in hand together is the only way to start if we're gonna make it. Committed many things I'd wished I didn't, though I had been warned a million times. I lived my life all wrong just to say it in a song, most of the time not even knowing why. See now the where I rest my soul when I feel there's nowhere else to go. Well, it sure ain't much to look at, but it's cheap. They keep the rent near nothing, with heartaches by the dozen, and nothing ain't worth nothing but it's free. Oh, preachers, teams, and politicians on each and every side of the aisle feed us promise after promise of wealth and the sweet by and by. Fill up all their pockets while they aim us all like guns and make us think from one another is the only place to run. So let go of your hatred, give us all your heart. Hand in hand together is the only way to start if we're gonna make it. Yeah, let go of your hatred, give us all your heart. Hand in hand together is the only way to start if we're gonna make
it. Good job on that. You know, I was thinking about, I like the hand in hand is the only way we're going to make it. That line right there sticks like glue. But you know, Cody, we're in our 250th birthday. And look at these jug he's drinking. Now, he's not drinking anything other than water, by the way. But I asked him, I said, what is that in that jug? He said, the same thing you were drinking, Climax water.
That's it.
But that song is sort of a 250 year. This is Bison, I guess, whatever, 250 years. Wouldn't be Bison, but it's way beyond that, 250 years celebration. And I had challenged some people out there to write songs like that about what we need to do in this 250 years. And that sort of captures some of the things I think that we need to do. We need to try to, go hand in hand as close as we can and understand, differences of opinion. They're good, but don't hate each other open.
Yeah, I don't generally publicly post my views on socio-political issues, especially sensitive ones, but I made the mistake of doing that the other day on social media, and probably knowing better. And there was a lot of mixed reviews. There was people that disagreed and were just totally fine with saying their 2 cents and moving on.
Yeah.
But I was really surprised at having a few folks on there that had been friends and supporters of mine for at least the last 5 years that were not willing to discuss anything, but instead, as soon as they read what I had said, they jumped to, well, I'm no longer your friend, I'm no longer following you, and it's like, man, look, once you get to that point, like, you're causing me to lose hope in all this, because what my stance is and what I'm saying is, you can have an opinion that's different than mine, and if you've got a flat tire at 3 in the morning down my street, call me, and I'll still help you. I'm not your friend because we don't drink the same coffee. It don't matter to me.
Yeah.
But we get so locked in. George Carlin once said, once your idea becomes your identity, then anything that's said against your ideas is a personal attack on yourself. And there's a lot of people on both sides of the aisle that are doing that. They're not open to any kind of conversation whatsoever. It's the slightest bite that, you think I'm wrong. Well, now I hate you and we ain't friends no more. And it's crazy. It's madness.
It's madness. It is. So well said there. We'll be back with more with Cody Lee Meece here in just a little bit. Got a couple of commercials to do. Cody, you can talk to the people on Facebook while I'm doing the break here.
All right. I wish I could talk back. Just hop in a room.
You can.
Hey, look here.
You can use that to pick out some of your buddies that are tuned in there.
Well, there's quite a few on here.
Well, they are.
Hello, all. If you got any questions, now's the time. Brian McKinney, good friend. Brian McKinney and I, we've done a lot of different events together over the past few years, and just a great guy, phenomenal voice. I mean,
I haven't had Brian in here. Why?
I don't know, but you need to. You got to change that, Charlie.
Hey, you need to tell Brian to get a hold of me.
For sure.
We'd like to have him in here. I see his posts all the time. And, maybe I just need to send him one of those, as you were saying, an invite.
Yeah, old Frank Johnson there. That's pretty cool. Yeah, there's a lot of folks on here that.
Trudy, I know you know.
Yeah, I know Trudy. Yeah, I just met her via social media. I don't think I've got to ever meet her in person yet. We just met.
She's a great lady.
I've heard a lot of great things, and I've seen a lot of great things just on her socials there. But I think we have yet to hug and shake hands. So hopefully that's a do soon.
Well, I've hugged her and shook hands both, and she is a sweet lady for sure.
On Facebook land, I tell you what, it's one of the best, worst things that's happened.
It is, and you put it well.
There's been nothing bring us together and pull us apart any more than Facebook.
Yeah, I like to keep my stuff as positive as possible. And,
Same here, and I generally try to stay away from politics.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're always, and again, I should have known better before I said what I said the other day.
Yeah.
Knowing how people are and what the climate is, but every now and then, you see some stuff and.
I just try to be positive every morning in some way or another, as positive as I can be, because I'm not a negative person, and I try to be, I guess, Mr. Positive on.
Yeah. Well, and at the end of the day, I want everybody, especially the way that my scope on the world goes, is I see me and my family. That's my first priority. Outside of that is my community. Outside of that is my state, and outside of that is my country. Yeah. And it has to be in that order because it's what's closest to home.
It is.
But, just seeing the amount of just division and just hate, and this country's in so much turmoil, and it's real sad, man. It's just real sad.
That's sort of a point we made today at noon. I opened the show like that, and it really bothers me a lot.
Well, it's heartbreaking because it doesn't have to be that way.
We got a great nation here.
Yeah, it is.
And we got great people. They just need to find common ground and move this great nation really ahead. There's more I think we can agree on and disagree on.
Yeah, 100%.
But we've got to set aside some of that stuff. All right, moving along here, Cody Lee Meece is our guest today, and he's just done a fantastic job on a couple of songs that he's written here recently. And I love the heart-to-heart talk. I love that.
Yeah, I think people should do more of it. You know, we get a lot further.
From the Carolinas, love you, brother.
Right, love you back.
But yeah, I mean, we need to find more of those kinds of conversations, and in songwriting, what I found here from you songwriters out there, and you're probably one songwriter that's really writing about maybe songs of the time. You know, you see people, artists out there singing songs of the time in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. You'll go back and find songs that maybe about a war or about some situation. And Peter, Paul, and Mary, for example,
yeah.
You know, they would be a good example, I think, of that. But and you're singing songs. That last one really is sort of about the times of where we're living and how we're living as a nation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I try to. I wish it's a place that I could write from more. I mean, as a songwriter, I've always only been able really to write from my own personal life experiences.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I write from a very personal place and a vulnerable place. But I do wish more that I could kind of touch on the subjects and be more eloquent about my delivery on how we kind of bring all this thing together, because man, there's enough stuff out there to pull you apart. There's a lot of music out there that is divisive, and you know, it's just I mean, I'm more interested in seeing people come together, find common ground, regardless of your differences. Differences are what make this country beautiful. If we were all exactly the same, dressed exactly the same, drove the same car, I mean, it'd be boring. I mean, it'd be boring. You know, I'm not interested in that. But we've got to be different and also be able to get along.
And appreciate the differences.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And that's why I like the show. I like seeing all you talented people coming here, and gosh, it's just a thrill to sit down and talk to you and to pick your mind a little bit.
No cobwebs in there.
I got a few myself. All right, Alan Robertson will say hello to him over in Lexington. He just tuned up here, and Jerry and Vicki Petrie, hello to them. Vicki Anglin is her husband was a longtime bass player, and he was the bass player of every band I think I ever played with. He was one of the best. He's long gone, but we sure miss him a lot. So what you got next, Cody Lee, for us?
Next is a song called Carmela, and I wrote this song after I had that old Grand Prix. It wasn't that long after I got it, and you know, it's got an 8-track player. It's one of the only options that it had from the factory.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got an 8-track player and blue tint glass. Those are the only 2 options the car has. Everything else is manual and standard. But
do you still have 8 tracks?
oh yeah, oh my God, I've probably got 200 to 300 8-tracks, something like that anyway. And I just changed the belts in that 8-track player last year, I think. But I was out driving the backcountry road, and I had all the windows down. It's a hardtop car, so it's clear view, and it was a fall day, and it was warm, and it was nice, and I mean, I was driving along just having a wonderful time, and kind of out of nowhere this song just popped in my mind, and I got home, picked up the guitar and wrote it down, and then I honestly kind of forgot about it for a few years and discounted it because I'm way too critical of anything I create, and over the last year or so I really decided to pull it back out and give it its due, and I'm glad I did because I enjoy this one.
So this song is entitled about your car's name?
No, it's just it's kind of just a generic name that really kind of fit, and I don't know where the name Carmela came from, but you know, it was really about some relationship experiences I was having at the time, you know, and things were looking like, yeah, maybe they'll work and maybe they won't, and just trying to address that. Well, if they don't, I've appreciated our time together. Yeah, is really where it's coming from.
Yeah, okay. All right, gotcha. Got your line. I'm going to listen for it.
All right. But you know I left my wild soul running on the midnight train. That train is still running, oh, and I'm just sitting here, drowning all my sorrows, all my doubts and fears. Come on, Carmela, darling, we're out of here. Come on, Carmela, honey, don't be afraid. Don't you know I got a feeling somehow we're gonna make it someday. And if by chance we falter, well, at least we know we tried. And all that time we wasted won't feel much like wasted time. Come on, Carmela, honey, why don't you just drive? Chance we falter, well, at least we know we tried. And I still have you running in my heart and in my mind. Come on, Carmela, darling, it's a real good night. Come on, Carmela, honey, why don't you just drive? Darling, why don't we get high? Come on, Carmela, darling, it's a real good night.
Another good piece of work there. Carmela, I loved the way you did your runs on that.
Oh, thank you.
That sort of set that song apart, didn't it?
I hope.
Yeah, it did. Those are nice arrangements. Making on that Yamaha guitar you're playing there.
Yeah, I've had this thing since 2019. You know, I spent a few years astray on amphetamines, and I'm very thankful to have survived it, you know, with most of my mind and most of my teeth, and to be where I'm at now and to get to live life as much as I do. And but coming out of that, you know, I wrote songs during that whole time, but usually on borrowed guitars. And coming out of it, you know, I decided that I wanted to get out and I wanted to share my songs and play shows and all this stuff, but I didn't have a guitar, so I was borrowing them all the time. And finally some friends pulled together, and kind of without my knowing it at first, and once they had the money pulled together, he took me down to my friend Tony Armstrong, took me down to the music store, and he said, "Here's your budget, pick one out." And it was between this Yamaha and a Martin, and at least within that price range in particular, this Yamaha just happened to walk all over that Martin. Yeah. Now, if you're going to spend $3,500 on something, that's a little different story, I'm sure, but you know, this guitar's been really great to me and for me, and I've gotten to write a whole lot of songs on it, and it's been a good friend, for sure.
Well, you're playing it well.
Thank you, Charlie.
And I'm glad your journey, that you put your journey behind you, and you've got nothing but what's in front of you.
That's it. There's a reason the windshield is bigger than the rearview mirror.
Yeah, exactly. I love that. You know, there was a song written by Paul Martin about mountains ahead. And it sort of referred to the small mirror in the window ahead. And that's a good thought for you folks to keep in mind here. Let me take one more break here. Cody Lee Meece, you can talk to the folks here. I was trying to send Brian a message here just a moment ago, but I've not done that yet, but I'm going to.
The drug enforcement agency will be...
You sure don't want to call the number I put on. Got almost sent. I don't know who you got. think I might as well start over on that number, because we're not doing anything at all on that number. I'll get him tonight.
Progress to the Blues, it is all on display. We are open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. We also invite you to book your private event or group tour. Visit us online at KentuckyMusicHallOfFame.com or check us out on Facebook for upcoming events.
All right, moving along here on Stars Across Kentucky, Cody Lee Meece. You know, Cody, you was telling just a snippet of your story, but you have to be right now a man who is standing out there being an example for other folks who may be struggling, may have gone down the wrong road, and it takes something deep inside of your heart to get off of that road to get on the right road.
Yeah, well, it's not easy, because especially once you get yourself, knee deep into living, a lifestyle that is centered around addiction. Well, your whole life by that point is surrounded by, from the quote unquote friends you hang around with, to the places that you spend your time, to what you do for quote unquote fun. Everything becomes rooted in addiction, and to get out of that, well, that means you got to get rid of every single one of those quote unquote friends, and you've got to quit going to those places. And when you do that, at least initially, it feels like, well, there's nowhere in society for me. And it's probably going to feel that way for a little while, but I promise if a person decides to get on out of that mess and start moving forward, well, it won't be too awful long before you'll find the people and the places that you really need to be around.
And I think it's exactly true, but you have to make a turning point, if you will.
You always got to make just the next best move. No matter where you're at, no matter how bad you've messed up, it's not, what you're doing right now, if it's bad, it's bad, but what matters most is the next step you're going to take. Mm-hmm. And you get to decide that for yourself. And, if you take one good step, and then another good step, and then another good step, but before you know it, you've walked a few miles and you're headed in a good direction.
And you're headed in the right direction. There you go. All right, what you got coming up for us here, and then we'll talk about how people can get your music after this.
Okay. This next song I'm going to do is a song I wrote about my grandpa. My grandparents on my dad's side primarily raised me for the most part and mm-hmm. taught me most of what I needed to know about life. My mom and dad were busy doing things they shouldn't have and mistreating each other, and it's just not a great situation to grow up in. And I thank God every single day for Gary and Betty Meece. They've both been gone some time now. My mama Betty passed away February 18th of 2014, and my papa Gary Meece, he passed away December 26th of 2020, which is what this here visitor sticker is on my guitar. And he was an awesome man. He was, I almost jokingly referred to as kind of the mayor of the trailer park that, I grew up in, because, if anybody needed something fixed or needed tools, he'd fix it or lend it to them or this or that. He would always help anybody that was helping themselves. But with that being said, he didn't take any BS whatsoever from anybody. Right. He had zero tolerance for nonsense, and wasn't afraid to pull his fists out and do work if he needed to. He was stern, but he was truly fair. And he taught me a lot of great lessons of just how to be, and I think about him every single day since he's passed, and I'll think about him every day for the rest of my life, and I'll always be thankful that he fulfilled a role that otherwise wasn't being filled.
So this is sort of a dedicated song to Grandpa, if you're up there watching down here, from Cody Lee.
Yeah, so this here is called Memories of the Man. Man in the world is slipping away. He's hanging on by a thread, and he's taking it day by day. Lord, just please be with him wherever his body lay. strongest man in the world is slipping away. He could build the baddest old small block you ever had heard. He had fists like 9-pound hammers, but all he ever needed was words to knock a man down to his knees and leave him face down in the dirt. And he could build the baddest old small block you ever had heard. So to have to watch the man that damn near raised me fade, it's just the kind of realization I didn't want to have to face. But now the cold winds are blowing and the clock hands start to slow, and it's got me feeling that old feeling I don't want to feel no more. It's a makes me sad, and it's a makes me lonely, and it's another old time I'll have to hang my head. So to see the man become a memory makes me thankful for memories of the man. He was the life of the party and he never let nobody feel down. He said can't, never could, and you could only go as low as the ground. He was a man of the country and there ain't a chance in hell he was ever gonna move to town. He was a life of the party and he never let nobody feel down. He had a heart for helping and a will that couldn't be broke. When he laid it on the line, you knew he wasn't blowing smoke. Yeah, he taught me not to steal even if I wound up flat broke. He had a heart for helping and a will that could never be broke. So to have to watch the man that damn near raised me fade was just the kind of realization I didn't want to have to face. But now the cold winds are blowing and the clock hands start to slow, and it's got me feeling that bad old feeling I don't want to be feeling no more. It's a makes me sad, and it's a makes me lonely, and it's another thing time I'll have to hang my head. So to see the man become a memory makes me thankful for memories of the man. So to see the man become a memory makes me thankful for memories of the man.
Dedicate just to all the grandpas and the grandmas out there, because that what an important role. And I'm, raising two of my grandchildren, and I've raised them. They're grown. But what an important job that is.
Oh man, yeah, and thank God they were there. I mean, really, because I wound up in enough trouble as it was having them to guide me. So I mean, without them, I'm sure some penitentiary somewhere for something I shouldn't have did, And it's just because I grew up surrounded by so much trouble, and I don't try to use that as an excuse, but if anything else, it does give a little bit of explanation to how a person can get so far off track. But, they kept me grounded and they gave me values, and even when I was running wild and, locked up in addiction and stuff, I wouldn't steal from you. I do my best not to lie to you. I didn't want to hurt nobody. I was just hurting myself, and then I kept that to myself as much as I could. They just taught me a lot of good values, and my papa, he had done 7 years in the penitentiary in the 60s for stealing cars, and he was a real James Dean type, and not that it's good to do that, I don't condone it, but I got to hear a lot of cool stories growing up, and with all that being said, regardless of his past, he made sure to raise me understanding, you know, who gave us the gift of life and who to thank every day for it, you know, and that's God. And well, that being said, you know, he had hand tattoos and a past, and especially in rural Kentucky, being Baptist, you know, he couldn't go into a church house without getting either nasty looks or people whispering about him and this and that. And so he didn't go to church, but he spoke highly of the Lord every day and all the time, you know. And you know, that alone's a value that I'm very thankful for, because, I mean, as bad a time as I've had knowing the man upstairs, I can't imagine how much worse it'd have been without him, you know. So,
well, I do appreciate your witness on the radio here. I would say you're speaking to the world, and there's people out there you're touching their lives in a profound way, because maybe their life is going just like yours did. And
maybe, I sure hope
they
not.
need to hear this, and that's what I'm sitting here thinking is, and I'm sure there's some folks out there that's listening that need to hear this. And what a great testimony that you've given here today, and I thank you for that. Not just the music, but the testimony itself. How do they get your music?
Oh, you can find it all over the stuff. It's on Spotify, iTunes, and there's stuff on YouTube and
Amazon?
Amazon, yeah. I think there's some stuff on Bandcamp even. I mean, there's, all you gotta do is get on the Google and look up Cody Lee Meece, and you'll find a whole bunch of stuff, and you can find it on whatever platform you like to listen to music on. If you're interested in a CD or a vinyl record, well, I've got those at the house.
You actually have a vinyl out?
Yeah, I got some out there in the truck. I brought
Really?
one in.
I have not seen we don't have a vinyl player here.
But if anybody's interested in a CD or a vinyl, you know, reach out to me personally on Facebook. I'll get you took care of. We'll make sure it's handled.
Now, have you got any of the little junk drives?
No,
You know, a lot of entertainers are selling them like that.
I'm a dinosaur. I got CDs and vinyls, and that's all I can do.
That vinyl, that sort of opened my eyes. I went like, okay.
Yeah, I'm really thankful. There was a production team that we got to work with to make that album. The album is titled "Love Ain't Worth the Trouble," which is kind of misleading, but you got to look into it. And we were working with a company called Feels Right Productions, and they helped us get that album made and get it on vinyl, and did a whole lot of work with us and for us, and I'll always be thankful for them doing that.
Well, I tell you what, we, you know, of course, I Google, you know, like you said, up here, Cody Lee's, and I'm going to look for these songs now that you've got today, because some powerful songs have been sung here on the radio today that are helpful to other people that might be hurting.
I hope.
Look, I can tell you they are. Yeah, they are. So we'll try to get some of those played for you along the way here. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Cody, well, you've got time for another song, and then we'll have a little chit chat to end it up with. So, what's your last song going to be?
Last song I'm going to do is one that's probably done the most for me, and I reckon as far as anything I've created, it's done the most for other people. And it's titled "Can't Never Could," and it's based off something my papa used to tell me all the time. You know, I would get in trouble in school or this or that, and I remember one day in particular, you know, after school getting in trouble, and him sitting me down on the couch there in the living room, and I was trying to explain to him, like, "Papa, you know, I'm trying to do better. I'm trying, I just can't." You know, and he said what he said a million times to me, which is "can't never could and won't never will." You know, and I hated that he said that, because it really kind of took away my only excuse. You know? My excuse is I can't. And now you're telling me I can. Well, now I guess I have to. And this song, it's pretty much the story of my life, and it's a song that I wrote in probably 30 minutes to an hour one day after having a really, really rough couple of weeks. And it's a song that I never really wrote with the intention of it being a huge success. It's literally a song that I wrote for me to help me get through a time and make sense of my life. And much to my surprise, there's been an awful lot of people in the last few years since, you know, that song came out that have, you know, said they either listen to it every single day, or, man, it's helped me get through this. And, you know, as a songwriter, that's what you hope for the most. That's what I hope for the most. You know, to get $1 million, sure, that's neat, but you can't buy helping somebody through a tough time in their life.
Exactly.
And if you get to do that, man, that feels important and special and great. And it kind of feels like you get to be there with them. Even if you're not physically there, you kind of get to be there with them through their woes and help them out. And you know, that's big to me because that's what my hero's done for me.
Mhm.
I mean, when I was in my lowest of lows, there wasn't nobody helped me through it as much as George Jones, you know, because he's sung in a way that I knew I wasn't alone. I knew he'd been there too, and I knew he got it. And sometimes that's all you need is a reminder that you too can get through this.
Okay, well, let's hear your final song here, and I've certainly enjoyed the show today.
Thank you, Charlie. Fighting these demons this week seems harder than last. And if I keep on getting the sinking old feeling, I don't know how long that I'll last. Let me ask you one question now, friend. How do you still pray to Jesus and pick up the pieces when nothing left pleases you? Oh, these times. Oh, these times. Since the first breath I've taken, I've been forsaken and tossed way out in the dark. Then people seem to wonder why I don't mind the thunder and lightning lighting up the yard. Maybe I've gone too far from where I started to start. Turning back now got me thinking things might be better in all this weather if I just jump ship and drown. Oh, these times. Oh, these times. Yeah, every day I wake I can't tell how I feel except somewhere between a heathen and a driving wheel. Hungry for attention and trying to hide between falling off the wagon and catching a ride. I've tried, I'd say, but maybe I'd be a liar. I'll build myself a prison just to set it on fire. And I'd like to say I can't, but that ain't no good. 'Cause can't never could. I didn't get to be a kid, so I grew up quick, and I guess I didn't grow up right. I started drinking whiskey instead of water, sleeping through the morning and staying out all that night. They had me feeling like James Dean in a small town scene, yeah, but they never come to see me in jail. Ain't those the kind of friends which hits the fan, you're the only fool standing around. All those times. Oh, those times. Yeah, every day I wake I can't tell how I feel except somewhere between a heathen and a driving wheel. Hungry for attention and trying to hide between falling off a wagon and catching a ride. I've tried, I'd say, but maybe I'd be a liar. I'll build myself a prison just to set it on fire. And I'd like to say I can't, but that ain't no good. 'Cause can't never could. Before long I bit of crystal and it had me standing up on my head. I didn't have to sleep and I never had to eat. Yeah, I was trying all I could to be dead. Between dead and dying is where I resided, and I seemed to spend most of my time. Every day I got over, I just got closer to heading for my home in the sky. Damn those times. Oh, those times. Yeah, every day I wake, I can't tell how I feel, except somewhere between a heathen and a driving wheel. Hungry for attention and trying to hide between falling off the wagon and catching a ride. I've tried, I'd say, but maybe I'd be a liar. I'll build myself a prison just to set it on fire. And I'd like to say I can't, but that ain't no good. Yeah, I'd like to say I can't, but that ain't no good. 'Cause can't never could.
Cody Lee Meece, I can tell you right now, I got a phone call just a minute ago, and they whispered on the phone. You had touched a life. I told you. You need to be a motivational speaker, Cody.
If I could get a handle on the English language.
Me too. But you had a great show here today. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me,
We
Joe.
will have you back.
I surely hope so.
God bless you.
God bless you.
The 3 o'clock news is brought to you by Community Trust Bank with 2